وأذن في الناس بالحج يأتوك رجالا وعلى كل ضامر يأتين من كل فج عميق.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، ونصلي ونسلم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اتبعه بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We mentioned in the earlier episode that Hajj is such an ibadah that firstly it costs money. It is something which is physical. Hajj is a physical type of ibadah. It is spiritual in nature as well as financial. Now, Hajj, when performing Hajj, we perform Salah as well. Sometimes when we go before the days of Hajj, then we would fast as well. And we move from place to place. All this forms part of Hajj. Now, Hajj, as we mentioned earlier, that it is so possible for Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala could have allowed us to perform Hajj while at home, like with the other ibadat. For example, your salah, fasting, zakah, whatever it may be, reading Quran, whatever it may be, we could have done. We're doing it at home, and wherever we are, we can do it. But Hajj has to be performed at a specific time, at a specific place. And very often this costs a lot of money. Now, what is a hikmah? We know, and we mentioned this also, that الشريعة حكمة كلها. That means the sharia, there is wisdom behind whatever it has ordained upon us. So when sharia ordains upon us that you will not steal, then there is hikmah behind that. If the sharia has ordained upon us that you will not eat usury or interest, that also there is hikmah behind that. If the sharia has prohibited us from zina, then also there is a hikmah and wisdom behind that. Likewise, whatever it has asked us to do, it has asked us to perform our salah regularly, there is hikmah and wisdom behind that. And likewise, when it asks us to perform Hajj at a specific place, during a specific time, then also there is a lot of hikmah behind that. Now let's try and look at some of the hikmah why Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala has ordained that we leave our homes, travel from some places. It will be maybe an hour's flight, sometimes 2 hours, 3 hours, sometimes 7 hours, and some people would take at least 24 hours to reach Makkah and Medina. Nonetheless, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala has ordained upon us that if we have man istata'a ilayhi sabila, that means if we can afford it, then you will have to go and make that the journey of Hajj. Now the first thing is that we know that as human beings, we tend to be materialistic in nature. We love the good things of this world. And many times, the enjoyments, the good things of this world makes us forget Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. We forget our connection with Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So what Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala does is that for a specific period of time, I will take you out of this place where you are with all your surroundings, with all your enjoyments, and I will take you to Makkah. Now when we speak of Makkah, what is Makkah? Makkah is barren land. غَيْرِ ذِي زَرْعٍ عِنْدَ بَيْتِكَ الْمُحَرَّمِ. That is according to the Quran, when Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala described, or Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam described Makkah. It is barren land. Now, wasn't it possible that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, instead of calling us to Makkah, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala could have chosen this specific place, being the garden route in South Africa, or it could have been the Swiss Alps. It could be Kashmir as well. greenery, a lot of beauty, etc. But Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, for some ibadah, which is a once in lifetime ibadah, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala calls us to Mecca, where when you look at the surroundings, it is dry mountain, it is rocks, it is stone, very hard living there. The climate many times very, very hot. You cannot bear the heat of Mecca, but still Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala asks us to come there, and also we spend so much money to come there. What is the reason? Let's look at it this way. That which I spend upon, I appreciate it more. So, if I were allowed to perform Hajj in my backyard, then I wouldn't appreciate it much. No. However, many people, and I recall when I was in Hajj, there was a fight was about to break out between two Hajjis, two brothers in the same group. And one of the brothers said, you know what, I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to argue with you. I spent so much money to come here. Am I going to waste all that because of you? Why? Because he knows that I had to save a lot. I had to work very, very hard to come here. And because of you, I'm not going to I'm not going to nullify my Hajj in any way. So we know that firstly you spend money on it so that we can appreciate it more. The same example, for example, a student. Most students who pay for the tuition, you see that they fare better than those who receive education free of charge. Why? Because I worked hard for it, or my parents worked hard for it. That's why I have to work hard, and I have to make sure that I pass and I am successful, or else whatever investment I have placed in it is gone down the drain. We know that even going in tabligh, one of the principles or fundamentals of tabligh is that you use your own wealth. What is the reason that they insist you use your own wealth? So that you make sure that you spend your time correctly. So that is why Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala ordained upon us Hajj, which becomes very, very expensive at times, and many times we can only afford it once in a lifetime. Other times we have to save up for years before we can, even if we're going to perform multiple Hajj, but it will take us years to save up and work hard so that we can perform that Hajj. So that is why we go there and we appreciate it more, and we try and spend our time better, and we try to earn from the Hajj a lot more. When I say earn, spiritually, that is, we try to become better people when we return home. Now the reason why Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala ordains upon us that Hajj must be performed in such a place where water is not readily available. There is no greenery that you're going to find. The trees also are not green. You will not enjoy them very much. The site around you is not the best site that you will travel towards, but still Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala calls us to Makkah, which is غَيْرِ ذِي زَرْعٍ. The reason there again is that we know that the only beauty in Makkah will be the Kaaba. The only beauty in Makkah will be the Kaaba. Can you imagine? I'm sitting in front of the Kaaba and I'm distracted with beautiful scenery on my right, on my left, wherever it may be. That wouldn't be a pure Hajj. No, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala wants us to focus. When we come for Hajj, we focus. We focus on the purpose why we are there. We focus on our connection with Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And here again, what is the only enjoyment in Hajj? Is strengthening that connection between myself and Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So whatever I do, I'm going to try and please Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Like I know very, very well, whenever I go for Hajj, then people will come and ask me the smallest of masail. When you're back home, what happens is that we forget. And our salah also, we perform it. Allah knows whether our salah is even accepted. We ask Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, whatever weak ibadat we make, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala accept it, inshaAllah. However, we know the condition of our salah. We know when fasting also, we make ghiba of people, we backbite of people, we do this, we speak lies, etc. We know only Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala and ourselves know the condition of our fast as well. And here again, we ask Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala that please accept even that weak fast of us. We beg of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala to accept it. Now here when we go to Mecca, then what it allows us to do is to divorce ourselves from everything. The only beauty, the beauty of the Kaaba, the only enjoyment is my company with Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So when I, at home, when I must perform salah, my salah, I'm not so sure how well I performed it, but ask any person who has been on the journey of Hajj, how do you feel, or how is your salah during Hajj? And he will say that there's just a different there's just a different feeling, that I can actually feel I'm with Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala while just performing something which I perform every day. My salah I perform every day. Even when I read Quran, I can actually feel that I'm with Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala and I'm speaking to Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. So here again we see that even reading whatever the normal ibadat has a different effect, a different flavor. Why? Because here we are now focusing on Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. When we say labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wan ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak, it just has a different feeling altogether. So much so that there also I can feel I'm with Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. That is why we say Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala takes us from our hometown, traveling so far. And why? Because Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala wants us to be with Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala alone. So that is also my message to all those who are performing Hajj, inshaAllah, that while you are performing Tawaf of the Kaaba, remember that you are with Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, be with Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala alone. It mustn't be. And this we have seen also many times, that a person will be performing Tawaf and will be speaking of some worldly thing there during on the mataf with his colleague. No, when I'm there, remember Tawaf, inshallah we will discuss that in one of the later episodes. Tawaf is a sign of love for Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Inshallah, that is what we will discuss in one of our subsequent episodes, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وأذن في الناس بالحج يأتوك رجالا وعلى كل ضامر يأتين من كل فج عميق.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك، إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك.